Let me bring in my guests. Tom Vadakkan joining me from the Bharatiya Janata Party, also former DGP of Uttar Pradesh Vikram Singh, to help us understand what the rules say about the national flag. Expecting Iftikhar, Misger to also join us with the point of view of the Kashmir-based political parties. Tom Vadakkan, to you first. You've heard my colleague Mufti Islah try and explain why the objection in Kashmir Valley, because there apparently was some confusion whether there was monetary, forced monetary donation, also whether there was any kind of force that was being used there to ensure people hoist the tricolour. But other than that, rest of the country too, opposition has raised 2-3 points. Do answer to this charge. First, they're saying you've amended the flag code to allow polyester flags to be flown, something which was not part of the original flag code. Environmental reasons, other reasons are being cited to say why was this needed? Why could you have not given handloom workers employment by saying you can only fly handloom-made flags? If you answer that charge first, then I'll bring in one by one the other things that the opposition is raising.
Well, to begin with, the Khadi turnover today is 1 lakh crore, okay, 2 years. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
1 lakh crore is the turnover of Khadi. And this is the first step to bring Khadi into the international market. So this is not just about polyester. And these are all side events being invented by those vested interests to say, well, this whole exercise is a drive to bring up Khadi in the market, and the turnover is so explosive. It is the FMCGs have not been able to compete with this kind of turnover. And believe me, this is going far ahead, and we will have Khadi in the international market to such an extent that India will be one of the major markets for Khadi. On the global level.
Okay.
And I think other thing about polyester and all that, these sideshows are, more of envy, grapes are so. This is the first time historically, globally. The last time this happened was in 1944, when World War II, Churchill asked his citizens to hoist the flag. But there's no documentary evidence of how many flags went up at that juncture. But today I can tell you with pride that my country, our country, is going to be the biggest show this planet Earth has shown in this event. This is much more than patriotism. It's about an industry that we are pushing forward. It is about patriotism, yes. It is about our country and the story of our country.
All right. Iftikhar, Misger, you've heard the Bharatiya Janata Party's point of view. Why is PDP, why is National Conference, why is the left in Kashmir? What is the objection to what the country wants to celebrate, what the government wants the countrymen and women to celebrate?
See, frankly speaking, there should be no objection at all. Like when you're hurling and talking about the national flag, I don't see that there should be any, and there must not be. But the question, there are so many questions arising, not only in the minds of opposition, what they call, but overall in the perception, what is being created in the common man's mind is that the august books of the country, the august house of the nation is being misused for petty political gains. The national flag has its own rules and regulations, how it will be furled, where it should be furled, and what's the timings, what about the nights and all. And let me tell you the chronology of this all tricky move, what this government has played. Now, the gentleman was saying that Khadi is doing tremendously well. That is the pain. That is where the point arises. Khadi is doing pretty well, and the eye of chronic capitalists came on the subject, and they initiated this whole and used it. The shamelessness is using the national nation for this and pushing Khadi behind and promoting polyester. You cannot hide it. See, lakhs and crores of flags will be tomorrow sold, and which will be manufactured by Ambani's Reliance Group, because they are the only manufacturers of the
Iftikhar Saab, if you hold on to your other thoughts, I want to bring in Vikram Singh on that point that you made about change to the flag code. There are rules and regulations that at independence our leaders had set about how you can, A, what is the material of which our flag should be made of, B, what are the rules as far as unfurling and keeping that flag is concerned. Now those rules have been amended. Even after sunset, if you're hoisting it on top of your house, you can continue to have it. Third thing that a lot of people are questioning is, you are asking people to fly a polyester flag, but have you thought about how that flag should be preserved? Have you thought about whether there will be any disrespect to that flag? Because we have seen, let's accept it, after Independence Day, after Republic Days, our flag getting strewn all around the streets, the lanes, the by-lanes. That's another concern that people are raising. Do you find that valid?
Arunima, good evening. I find this to be a little that needs a bit of amendment and application of mind. I would draw your attention to the Flag Code of India 2002 issued by the MHA, and also certain amendments that yes, for the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, that it will be allowed to be unfurled at every rooftop in India, 20 crores to be precise almost, and 72 hours beginning from the 12th of August. And also, as you very rightly mentioned, allowed, normally it is from dawn to dusk, but in this case, for the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, it will be allowed to be unfurled and be on rooftops during night, because it's not possible for every householder to bring down the flag at dusk. So under these circumstances, rightfully so. But the rules are very clear, and I will read out to you. The national flag of India shall be made of hand-spun and hand-woven wool, cotton, silk, khadi buntings. It does not mention polyester.
Now it does.
If it does, well, you have made the amendment and you must be having your own reasons. There may be reasons for others that we are saying, but these amendments have come, and if they have come in the form of those amendments, well, they must be having their reasons, because you see, the number of flags that can come from handlooms and homespun will not be able to cater to the demands. Therefore, perhaps in their wisdom, they have said that polyester will be allowed.
Right.
So I see no harm. I see no flaw in this. Perhaps Amrit Mahotsav will come only now. Perhaps this requirement may come after 25 years. You may be there, but at least I will not be there. But under these circumstances, perhaps if they had planned this maybe about a year ago, this situation would not have arisen. And as Lanpan say, that handloom and all would have been given the due. But in these emergency circumstances, if they allowed polyester to come, so be it.
Okay, Tom Vadakkan, has it come last moment, and therefore these, irritants, like I said, how do you ensure that the flag is not dishonored after 15th of August? These are all can also be taken care of if you decide well in advance, and therefore, this charge that you're only doing this to divert attention from other issues about which common man cares, like price rise, etc. I mean, do you think there's any merit to that charge?
Well, if there's a raid, they say that it is to divert attention. If the flood-affected area, if you do, helping people, doing exercises,